Do we have an intro? Somebody coming in with it, or?
No, I didn't have anything.
All right. Fuck. Is there anything we wanted to announce or anything coming up?
We're on episode 23. Yeah, we got to get into it.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Natty 19 podcast. I'm Jonathan Marshall, and we are back once again to episode 23. 23. Wow. We do the same thing every time.
Yeah, baby. Consistent, you know?
We are consistent.
There's something
We
to say
consistently
about
have the
that.
same tone. I say the same thing every beginning of an episode. And it's okay.
Where did we leave off?
And write us in at natty19podcast@gmail.com. If you have any questions about what we're doing, check us out on Facebook. What else?
I think that's it.
That's it.
That about covers it.
All right. Let's get down to business.
Grace. Now we can eat.
We're coming.
Amen.
We're coming back from a bit of a break. We had a good Camp Righteous session, and then we did the dinosaur race. We sat with Wakanga, and now here we are again. We're going to take it back to the race. Xavril is on the go with Trike Tyson. And all that. Ghost Scepter. I forget the names of the other racers.
Not important.
Timora's
Stomper.
Will. Yeah, so during the race, Irame and Wakanga are standing on the side of the street down with the people of Nyanzaru. The rest of the group was invited to stand and watch the race from the wall.
Yeah, Copernicus and Quincy
Yes.
were up on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
You guys had like a luxury box or something.
We were making bets, losing money.
You were losing money. You
Okay.
owe Quincy 10 gold pieces.
No, I don't.
Yeah, because you... How do you figure that you don't?
I switched to my rider.
And did you win?
No.
Ah, there you go.
We're gonna have to
I'll
do
take
another.
10 gold.
We're gonna have to do another Unchained dinosaur race event before this show ends. Okay.
Yeah, that was fun.
Where attacking is involved, and we can do just, all in. We'll each create our own rider for it. Anyway, so Irame, Wakanga turns to you after all the dinosaurs go past this, run by you guys. Wakanga turns to you, Irame, and he says, "Your friend Xavril shows good form, having never participated in such an event."
Yes, he's proven himself to be quite an athlete and a warrior.
Tell me, Irame, your standing precedes you. This is not difficult to perceive. I do not know much of elven culture, but I know many elves of various skin, and still, not many cut from such an expensive fabric as you seem to be.
Yes, as a child, I didn't want for anything. But as I grew older, I did want adventure. I left home.
I see, and you find yourselves in Nyanzaru, under the employ of Lady Syndra. I have known Syndra Sylvain for many years. We are close, as one would call it.
Yes, it seems that a series of fortunate events have led me to come to know Syndra. I enjoy her company very much. I hope that we can help her.
Lady Syndra is very fond of you as well, Irame. I believe in you she sees her younger self. I truly hope we could save her life.
I am flattered.
So after, unless there's anything specifically you wanted to ask him as the race is going on, you see he's placing, his, he has like a butler guy, a servant guy, who's like always around him. And when he's not around him, he's doing something for him. He comes up and he takes some money. Wakanga places a bet, and the guy runs off. The festivities continue even after the race ends. Music echoes throughout the city streets, mingling with laughter and cheers. Children dart in and out of the crowds, and your group coalesces at the designated meeting spot. Irame arriving lastly, alone, with a smile on her face.
Xavril, you're a braver man than I am. Well done in that race.
I think I could have won. When I was meeting my triceratops, they gave me some feed, and I believe they were narco berries. I think the race was rigged.
Well, rigged or not, you performed wonderfully, Xavril.
Oh, I'll win next time.
Irma, you look to be in quite the elevated mood.
Yes, I had a lovely time with Wakanga. He's a gentleman.
Yes, and we enjoyed our seats upon the wall. It was a great view of the race.
And
Did you get
Copernicus was quite the gentleman as well.
Did you get in some gambling and debauchery?
We did.
Nice.
Oh, we managed to behave ourselves like Wakanga asked.
And I am 10 gold pieces the more wealthy.
I thought it was silver.
The setting sun shimmers over the harbor waters, and you're reminded of the next line in your agenda. Even in such pleasant, festive surroundings, your thoughts turn to the meeting with this Clem person.
Okay, we've got to do this. Get this out of the way. I think, Quincy, I know you have ties back in Baldur's Gate, but if you'll allow me, I have magic. I can make you invisible, and we'll have you wait at a distance with Irame, with your crossbows and your spells ready.
I do appreciate that, Copernicus. I would not want to jeopardize my family's name with any of the factions back home.
I understand. And I was thinking we could have just Xavril and me walk, because she's already met him. And then he can stay at a distance. But I can also make you invisible as well, Irame. It might be fun.
Yeah, I'll go for that.
And what of Zimbabwe? Will you make him invisible?
But what do you guys think of that plan?
I think it's wise.
We will follow your lead.
And just hold any actions. I don't want this to turn into a bloodbath. Unless she shows up with the crew, I'm hoping I can just talk my way out of this situation.
And if there is a skirmish, shall we wait till you are bloodied before?
Is there a safe word?
Banana pie.
It's always a safe word.
Banana pie.
Banana pie, banana pie.
Strawberry rhubarb pie. Fuck. Pecan pie. No.
Fucking stop!
Help me!
Fucking stop, man! God. All right, as you
If you see me summon my sword, then you'll know it's time to let your arrow and spells fly.
Okay.
All right, as you move through the market ward into the old city, you notice a stark contrast in your surroundings as this section of the city appears far more abused and not as kept. 3 ancient-looking ziggurats tower over the clustered houses, and in the very center of the thoroughfare, the road widens, and large crowds, they're flocking to this spot to get a look at whatever sits in the center of the street. And, excuse me, as you approach, you squeeze in between 2 bystanders and look onward.
Bystanders.
Bystander. What?
You said bystanders instead of bystanders. It just tickled me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that went right over my head.
I heard it too, but I didn't think it was quite as funny.
I thought Copernicus was raising his hand to...
I just wanted to make sure I do the casting of the spell before we're with.
Oh, yeah. That's not... Yeah.
Okay,
You
cool.
guys are entering the old city.
Okay.
This is a different event going on. All right, so as you approach, you squeeze in between 2 bystanders and look onward. The crowds are all gathering around a large rectangular stone-lined pit, 15 feet deep, 50 feet wide, and 200 feet long. Crude, straw-stuffed obstacles dot the length of it, painted with yellow and white markings. Down inside on the end of the pit that you're on, you see a man dressed only in a loincloth being unshackled, while seemingly drunk women smear red paint over his torso and legs before they're helped back out to join the crowd. And down on the far side, 3 cages rattle as the creatures inside frenzy in anticipation of release. The crowd parts as a somewhat nicely dressed man approaches the edge of the dugout, and he begins to speak. By order of the Will and the Way Committee, Sir Tadwill of Old City, you are found guilty for crimes of burglary, assault, and lying with livestock belonging to another.
Off with his head.
So I gather it's quite okay to lie with one's own livestock.
Interesting.
The red-painted criminal smiles a toothless grin, nodding to the crowd proudly.
You know, actually, this is a bit of interesting history. In Europe, back in the olden days, the punishment for having sex with a sheep was less severe than the punishment for sleeping with it, or was less severe than the punishment for stealing a sheep. So if you stole a sheep, your hand would get cut off. If you had sex with a sheep, you'd only lose a finger. So it's believed that there weren't as many people actually fucking sheep as, you know, as common folklore would suggest, you know,
Right.
that people just said they did in order to save their hand.
Right. That's neat. You get that on a Snapple cap, or
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one, because then you're walking around with a missing finger or two.
It was on the back of a box of condoms.
there you go.
Sheepskin condoms.
The man continues. Now you all know how this game works, but as is tradition, I shall explain it in detail as though you're hearing it for the first time. If the convicted can make it up the wall to the far end of the gauntlet, he is free to go. Now, normally we'd have a handful of criminals in here competing, but seeing how Mr. Tadwill of Old City is on his 3rd run, he will be running alone. Spin the wheel!
His 3rd run.
A couple of guys spin a large wheel and with various characters painted on each division. And when it stops spinning, the crowd cheers, and you see coin passing hands as people begin to place their bets.
So this is Justice and Nyanzaru.
Yeah, for a guy next to you. Yeah, for some things.
He liked sheep.
Great entertainment, though.
I couldn't agree more.
It was another man's livestock.
And at that, the wheel stops. A tarnished machete falls into the sand right near Tadwill's feet, where he happily bends down to equip himself. The finely dressed man, this guy, by the way, Irme, Quincy, perhaps all of you, the way it looks like he's trying to dress nice, but almost in a mocking manner. You know when like poor people try to dress nice, it's all kind of patchwork.
Yeah.
Like they
Like to
found
go to court.
Like they found
Yeah.
nice clothes in the trash.
They're a little bit too big or too small.
Yeah.
Yep. A little bit exaggerated.
Today's beasts, I forget the guy's voice now. Fuck. Today's beasts are of the most ferocious kind. Donated graciously in joint collaboration by Kylie and Ren's Jungle Trotters and Francine's Freight Transport. Begin!
Francine's Freight Transport.
I like it.
And you see on the far end of the dugout, the cages open and 3 velociraptors emerge. And the guys that open the cages are in full, not like plate mail armor, but they're like decked out in like
Like the guys that train fighting,
they
police
got
dogs
pads,
and
they
stuff.
got
Yeah.
pads and prodding sticks and
Yep.
shit like that. They're like hockey goalies. And you see all these obstacles. They're painted like I think I said like white and yellow, and the guy in the end is painted red, So after a bit, these velociraptors are kind of looking around, and after biting at the training guys a bit, they spot the red guy at the end, and they just like start humming towards him.
Dead. Red is dead.
And let me get my die.
This is Irame's going to put her hand on Copernicus' shoulder and say, "This is a bit stressful."
Just relax and enjoy the show.
If it would be enjoyable as perhaps a show, but as a display of justice, I find it distasteful.
Well, the guy, it is his third time in,
Yeah.
and he seems to be liking it.
Yeah, I was going to say, Irame will say, it seems the contestant relishes in the moment. It's intriguing.
This contestant, perhaps, but I'm sure there's many others that do not.
Oh, look at him. He's got moves.
It reminds me of that scene in Apocalypto.
I haven't seen that since the theater. I do want to watch it again.
It's so good. I love that film. Where they release them and the jungle's at the far end, but instead of beasts, they're launching arrows and spears.
Apocalypto was the jungle one, right?
Yeah,
that was
so
one long
good.
chase scene.
Yeah.
Hated that movie.
It wasn't a long chase scene.
It
though.
wasn't,
There
though.
was a lot
There
more
was a
than
lot
that.
to it.
That was like one fucking chase scene.
No,
No,
dude.
The whole
that was
movie.
so good.
And anyway, chases on foot are different than chases in cars. Car chases.
I like both movies.
Car
but
chases get they wear me out.
I feel like a lot of people
Movies,
haven't seen
they overdo it.
Apocalypto. Like when I bring it up, they don't know what I'm talking about, and I think it was so good.
Was that during the time when Mel Gibson was a little? People were kind
I
of
feel
boycotting
It was
him a
after the
little.
Passion of the Christ, I think.
Maybe after his controversy.
Yeah, the pullover and the
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, the three raptors ultimately. He looks like on his way by. It looks like he got over a few obstacles, but they ended up just ripping him to pieces.
Oh. Irame's gonna blink. You hear it. Tink, tink.
Bite.
The crowd is hollering
And what were his crimes again? He was a thief, a burglar, and a
fornicator of livestock.
Fornicator of
Of another
livestock.
man's livestock.
Seems rather harsh.
Well, you know what it is some people view it as some people commit crimes purposefully in order to kind of gain reputation or gain, but they
up the ante every time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Normally they put them in 6 or 7 guys, it's you have a little bit more of a chance to get to the end and get free, and also, yeah, if you make it out, you kind of have that fame already. A lot of gladiators, not a lot of gladiators, but some gladiators that make it famous start here, They kind of have that name for themselves. So anyway,
Copernicus, I gather you were a thief once in your past.
Been known to do some thieving, but those days are behind me now. I'm a legitimate adventurer.
so as you continue through Old City, unless there's anything else you guys wanted to do at the dugout,
No, Irame would definitely be done as soon as that started happening.
you arrive at the refuse pit.
Okay, so as we're approaching the refuse pit, I'll stop us. And then I guess I'll go to Quincy first. And Copernicus gets right up in your face and then reaches out and plucks some eyelashes from you.
Ow. God damn it. God
Hold
damn
still.
it, Copernicus.
Hold still, my friend.
My eye is tearing up.
And then he takes the eyelashes above your head and rubs them between his fingers, and they drop down on top of your head.
You could have snipped one, for Christ's sake.
And you go invisible.
For Tom's sake.
And then as Irame was leaning in, what's going on? He reaches over and plucks some eyelashes from you as well. Does the same
Right through
thing.
her glasses, huh?
Right around. Dex
Make
check.
an attack roll.
Irame will ready herself. She'll pull up her glasses.
Quincy is going to hold his hand up in front of his face to see if he could see his own hand. He's going. I don't know if I feel any different, Copernicus.
Well, you've never looked better, my friend.
Now this should last for a good while. Just stay beside Xavril's side. Stay beside Xavril's side.
Stay on the side of his side.
Stay on the side of good, my friend. So you arrive, cast a spell. Out here on the edge of the city brings an eerie silence. The wind howls as it makes its way across the grasslands and fills the massive 400-foot-long sinkhole that looms before you. The smell is foul, but not as bad as you originally anticipated, being where all of Nyanzaru's waste ends up. Something shifts down below within the trash heap, and you're certain that something or some things lurk down within. Beneath your feet, near the edge of the pit, is covered in a sort of greasy substance. So, you don't want to get... It's difficult terrain, 5 feet around the first 5 feet on the edge of the pit. So it's a half movement speed.
No one cares about that. This stuff is getting on my shoes.
I'm trying to picture this like
Let me get a map out.
I'm seeing it like we kind of come through a gate or something, and that's the refuse pit.
No, there's no real gate.
No.
So when you guys left the market ward, that's the gate
Okay.
of the wall, and then you entered Old City. Okay, where are you seeing the Nyanzaru map still?
Yes.
Okay. So let me go there so I can show you what's going on here. Okay, so I'm going to draw a line. So you guys came out there through that gate right there where that arrow is pointing. That is Old City, where the gauntlet is, where the criminals have to run from one end to the other. And then just north of that, maybe about 400 feet, the city kind of tapers off into a prairie of sorts. There is a tree line of the jungle, but the pit itself is surrounded by minor hills towards the ocean side. But for the most part, it's all grassland. And then from the edge of the pit, it's about maybe about 400 feet from the edge of the pit is the tree line. So let me go
We're
back.
supposed to meet her at the southwestern edge.
Remember the map is tilted. So see this blue square? You guys should see the blue square where you're supposed to meet.
Oh yeah, so southwestern.
So north is actually the right side.
Oh, so it's 90. The map is 90 degrees to us.
Well, when we come into view of the refuse pit, I'll make a display of, like putting my hand on Xavril's chest to stop him, but hopefully in an area where, we have a view of the landscape.
Yep. So, you hear a voice call out. Did I not make it clear enough, Xavril Dawn Tracker? The Flaming Fist will be taking the head of Copernicus Hart for crimes of theft and murder. But before that, I was hoping to watch him die personally. Did you believe your fleeing to Cholt would save your life, Copernicus?
Is she alone?
As she says this, now she's about 60 feet away. In the dim moonlight, you now see a large man raised to his feet next to her. You can't tell from this distance, even with your low light vision or dark vision, if he's standing right next to her or slightly between you guys. He appears to be wielding a spear and shield.
Well, after I stop Xavril, I will continue to approach on my own. And,
Clem, I thought 9 lives were saved for cats and kittens. What are you doing here? And more importantly, what the fuck does it have to do with me?
Are you surprised to see me, Copernicus?
Baldur's Gate has no jurisdiction here.
Oh, you mean the Flaming Fist? We are even more prevalent here in Cholt, as you by now should know.
Irme, while this is happening, is looking at Quincy nervously. Like this isn't going well.
You can't see me.
Yeah, he's invisible.
But where is she? We can't see each other under our mask of invisibility together. You're right.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, you're right. She's looking to where she thinks.
I hope I'm at the right pit. I don't even know where I am.
So I'll get close enough so we're not shouting at each other, but I guess, a good 20 feet away.
Yeah, at this point now you get a better look. The man is standing about 15 feet in front of her, and he's wearing a black cloth mask that covers his face so only his eyes are visible.
Who's your friend?
He will be the one to destroy you, so I could witness the one who killed my sister die.
Interesting.
And at that, the man begins to approach you menacingly.
Now hold on, big fella.
He slams his shield with his spear.
Ugh, I don't like this guy. Ugh.
And roll for initiative.
I'm assuming we all roll.
No, we're gonna let Cappy fight this by himself.
Just in case I want to
Ooh.
intervene.
Super low initiative for Irame.
Not bad for Quincy.
Oops, I'm in wrong mode here. I'm trying to add my guy to the initiative tracker. All right.
My 2 spells.
Yeah, it wouldn't add me to the tracker.
Quincy, what do you got?
19.
19. Xavril, what do you got?
7.
7 for Xavril. Irame.
5.
Oh, way to come prepared, guys.
We're waiting.
Copernicus.
17.
17 for Copernicus.
It's been a while since this group's been in a fight. Since, episode 16.
I almost forgot how to fight.
Yeah, Irame's edgy.
I blew all my spells and your invisibilities. Do you get anything special for attacking while invisible? You must, right? Some kind of advantage, you would think.
The first
I imagine
I
you,
think
you
the
probably
first
give
attack gets advantage or something
I
like that.
imagine you give
but
away your
then it breaks-
location once
well,
you
Yeah, you
start.
go visible.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the spell breaks for sure.
Okay, top of round 1, Quincy with a 19.
Oh, geez. Copernicus said not to act until he summoned his sword, but it looks as if things are definitely moving toward combat. All right, so I have a rules question. Bardic Inspiration does not attack. It's not casting a spell. Would it break my invisibility if I were to? I mean, certainly I would have to make noise, so
I
that
think
might.
any action. Let me see. Let's grab invisibility. Let's raise it. Invisibility.
I thought it was only offensive.
It could be, yeah.
Is it a cantrip?
It's just a
thing.
class ability.
ooh, it's not an attack or casting a spell.
No.
What's where Bardic Inspiration?
Yeah.
Let me look it up. It might say
Down the
might
rabbit
have
hole.
something in it.
If it was like something like 3-5 or Pathfinder,
Be a spell-like ability or
Spell-like
something,
ability.
right? Alright, so let me just search for Bardic Inspiration. Doesn't say, so
So still invisible?
still invisible.
All right, so Quincy will shout in a very authoritative tone to inspire, and this is the purpose of this would be to inspire Copernicus. Those who face Copernicus will die. And then he'll strafe 30 feet to, displace his position so that his position doesn't match where his voice came from.
It does say creature's location can be detected by any noise it makes or any tracks it leaves.
And you also have advantage on your attack roll, and attackers have disadvantage. So they can still detect you and try to hit you at a disadvantage.
Right, but I'm saying it and then I'm moving, so I'm
Yep.
not going to be in the same location.
And what's that inspiration
tracks.
do for me?
That gives you a D6 that you could use to any check, attack, or saving throw. You have 10 minutes. You could use it after your roll.
Yep.
But before the
I remember
GM.
that one.
All right. Does that conclude? So you moved over what, like 5, 10, 15 feet?
Yeah, can we see the whole like where the people are? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go to the... Is that the west to the left?
Yeah, left, what?
30
Just do
feet.
Left 35.
Yep.
10. Okay.
And is that my actual location at the start of this?
Yep.
In the back? All right.
Well, no, I mean, I just kind of copy and pasted these guys here. So, I mean, yeah, so wherever. So, Irame
I said
was
20
probably next
feet.
to Quincy.
So maybe put me 20 feet from the guy.
Yeah, because you had moved up.
Yep.
Is what happened.
All right.
That would be Quincy's turn.
All right, next up is Copernicus.
All right. Copernicus will make a display of summoning up his sword. It's like he's drawing it from a sheath that's not there. So that's my action. And I will cast also Fiendish Vigor. It's one of my warlock skills. And that will give me 1d4 plus 4 temporary hit points.
All right.
And I get 5.
Plus 5 brings
Was that
you up
minimum?
to 36.
Rolled a 1.
Brings Copernicus up to a 36 max.
And then, feeling inspired now from Quincy, I will also take my little buckler and now my sword and smash my sword on my buckler.
All
Like
right.
I'm ready for battle.
Now, Clem back steps, feeling satisfied with how this is playing out so far.
We don't know what Clem is, do we?
So I guess I killed her
We
sister.
don't know if she's got spells up her sleeve or if she's...
Or maybe you killed the real Clem and this is her sister.
It's so hard to say because Clem is such a deceptive.
I like it, dude. I like it.
You created her.
Yeah.
She's deceptive as fuck. We'll never know the truth. Okay, so the gladiator, and they both rolled the same number on initiative. So while Clem backpedaled or faded back further from the scene, the warrior, we'll call him the masked warrior.
And I'm picturing him like he's huge, right?
He's massive. He's
like the mountain.
That's
from
what I
Game
was
of
thinking.
Thrones.
That's exactly. I was thinking of the mountain.
Not quite.
I'm not quite the mount, not like supernaturally huge.
Yeah. Well, he gave me the willies like the mountain does, though. Just
No, he's like
Yeah,
any
the
one of the
mask.
guys.
Yeah,
he's
the
like
mask.
he's like anyone. He's like your favorite guy in the Spartacus show. You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah. Who is the black dude?
Ooh, yeah.
Anime.
Doctore?
Yeah.
Anime.
I think so. He was
I just saw
like-
him in the Terminator. I'm watching Sarah Connor Chronicles again. He's
That's
a
right.
character in that.
He was awesome.
So many people in that show.
Yeah.
He is a good actor.
All right. So
Very
he
good as the Doctor.
is going to. You're gonna like this.
Yeah, what's he wielding? Just a sword and shield?
Spear
Spear.
and shield. This
Ooh.
is his thing. Okay. He moves right up with confidence, bravery, one would say. He's going to bring that spear up. Actually, you know what? First, he's going to open it right up with a shield bash. It's going to be armor class 17 with that.
It's been a long time since I've been shield bashed, and it's going to be longer even.
As
It's a
he
miss.
misses, goes to bash you with his shield, and you nimbly dodge out of the way, as I always say when
It must be that short drow nose.
and then he comes in again with his spear twice. That's gonna be a miss and a miss. So you guys are you're just like kind of stepping backwards as he's like thrusting. He's shield swipes and then thrust, and you guys are dancing at this point. Now is Xavril, you're up. You see this happening, like shit's going down now. You know, dirt's getting kicked up. It's like sand beneath your feet, you know?
I don't know, I still think Cappy could take him.
I like the confidence.
Alright, Xavril's going to kind of... What's the red line? Is that like the entrance to the...
That's the
refuse
edge.
pit?
That's like death if you fall off of that.
Cappy will
Out
yell,
of bounds.
Don't let Clem get away.
Alright, I'm going to position myself about, I don't know, 20 feet away from the dude with the spear, over to the west, I guess, of Copernicus. and I will cast Slayer's Prey, just to mark the guy with the shield.
Okay. Slayer's Prey.
That will conclude my turn.
You got Slayer's Prey on the masked warrior. All right, Irme with a 5. You're up.
Irme is going to first cast Mage Armor. So I imagine what you'd see is nothing. And then kind of an iridescent, shimmering sparkle fall over nothing. And then she'll appear. No. Yeah, no, I cast a spell, so I'd become visible.
Okay.
Because Mage Armor is a spell.
That's true.
And she'll become visible, and it lasts for 8 hours. And my AC becomes 13 plus my dexterity modifier, so it'll become 15 instead of 12.
Noted.
She's then going to move on the same line as the fighter, but to the right of him, out of his reach. Up 1 and over 3 to the right. I want to put distance between myself and that dude.
Just to get a visual, we have Copernicus squared off with the man in the masked warrior with the shield and the spear. Irme is to the east about 30 feet.
With her back to the refuse pit.
And Xavril is on the other side about 20, 25 feet. Quincy's still to the back, to the rear, and Clem is far to the north, like 100 feet, like
Far.
Yeah.
75 feet maybe to the north.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty much content with how this is playing out. She, at least when it was her turn, felt confident that her man could take Copernicus and Xavril, but she didn't see Quincy and Irme.
Right.
So who knows what's going to happen.
So upon hearing Copernicus yell to make sure that Clem doesn't get away, Irme is going to use her Quicken spell, spend a couple sorcery points to get an extra bonus action to send a chromatic orb down to Clem. It's 90 feet. I should be able to reach her from where I moved, right?
Yeah,
Looks
Okay.
that way, yeah.
And just a moment, because I really want this to hit.
You know, when I was
she's 65 feet.
I used to love the chromatic spells when I was a
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
young kid and
Yep.
poring over the player's handbook and researching all the spells. All the prismatic and chromatic spells.
All right.
Let it rip.
That would be a 19.
19 hits Clem.
And I'm going to choose lightning.
Lightning damage. For how much? We will find out.
Ooh, 22.
22 damage.
See, I see some 8s over there.
Yeah,
Holy
2 8s out of that
shit.
one.
And why don't you go ahead and roll a d20 as you feel the air around you tingle.
The hair on Irme's
The hair.
arms rises.
You have a rabbit on your arms?
19.
Okay. Round 2. Quincy.
Quincy's going to rush forward, basically 30 feet north. So he's going to leave the shields guy to Copernicus and to Xavril.
This guy's
And-
gonna fuck me
He's
up.
gonna
isn't
wreck
he?
your fucking world.
Was that 30 feet?
Yeah.
So he's going to fire his crossbow, and I'm at advantage, right?
You are still invisible. And who are you fighting? Who are you firing at?
Clem, in the range on the crossbow is 30, 120. So does that mean I'm in?
Yeah, you're in range.
But I didn't know if the 30/120 that I have written down, like after 30, is it different? Does it lose?
Oh, yeah. Actually, it might be at a disadvantage.
So then it would just cancel out, right?
What? I thought you had up to 100. That big number was your number you could get to.
Crossbows
120.
are short. Yeah, you could effectively fire it at that range, but it would be at a disadvantage after the first number, I believe. Okay, does that sound right to you?
I remember we looked this up before, but I don't remember what it was.
So it would cancel out. Then if that's at a disadvantage, then my invisibility would just neutralize it. So regular roll 22 to hit.
Blammo.
Yep, we're right. You have a disadvantage. So what'd you get?
22 to hit.
22 is a hit.
And that is... Oh, shit, I don't add any damage modifiers, huh? 5.
You should for dex, right? You get dex bonus.
Do you add dex
Yeah.
to that?
For range.
Yep.
Even really with bows and stuff? All right, so
Absolutely.
then 8 points of damage.
8 points.
I don't have it written down. Might want to check that.
Pathfinder, you don't, but in 5e, you.
I wrote
definitely
these
do.
numbers down from D&D Beyond.
What type of bow are you using?
It's a
It's a light crossbow.
I don't know if crossbows get it.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain any ranged weapon will add dex modifier to your damage and attack.
All right, so 8 points of damage.
Recorded that. All right. Next up, Copernicus Heart.
All right, first things first, Copernicus will do the Hexblade Curse on this guy. That's his once a day skill, Warlock skill. Bonus action, and I get +2 to my damage rolls. And crit on 19 and 20s. And this is it. He's going in for the attack. And that's a miss. 2 on the die.
Damn.
So I'll keep dancing with this guy. I'll take a 5-foot step to my northwest.
Copernicus still staying in melee with this guy. He is just dancing. Next up, Clem taking some damage now. 5, 10, 15, 20, 21. Makes it to the tree line. She's still visible, but she's right on the tree line. Alright, and then this guy. Anxious to just land a hit on Copernicus. But now, seeing he's got several targets more than he anticipated, still keeping his eye on the money. For now, anyway. Once again,
What you got? What you got?
brings his shield down to bash at you with the shield. No dice with the shield. He cannot land. I can't roll above a 10. Now, once again, shield, stab, stab with his spear. First spear attack is going to be cracked die. I'm going to have to roll on my table. I don't know if you guys at home can hear, but... Ooh, natty 19.
Oh, no.
We got a crit chart.
Oh,
Give me a second to pull it up.
This guy's getting crits.
All right, give me a D20 roll.
9.
Is this melee?
That's melee, yeah.
Spear attack.
Precise strike. Damage times 2 plus 1d4 points of damage.
Damage times 2. This is with a spear. This could get ugly.
Plus 1d4 points of damage?
Yeah, times 2 plus 1d4.
Couple things are going on here.
Cappy, you're supposed to take this guy.
20 damage.
Yikes.
Piercing damage. As he just finally, after missing so many times, lands a precise strike.
Literally.
Okay, I confirmed that you do add your dex bonus to the crossbow. And not only that, but I had 1d6 written down because I maybe assumed that. But the actual damage is 1d8.
All right, and the last spear attack on Copernicus. Now, after landing that precise strike, he's coming around again, and he misses with that one. Squirmy Copernicus
Dude, that one
survives
hit
another round.
fucking
Squirmy
landed
Caperni.
hard.
All right, so how much damage did that? Did 20 damage to Copernicus, which brings him down to, what, 16?
Correct.
Rugged. Xavril, you're up. You see this happen. Copernicus, with one hit, is in rough shape.
All right. What is the size of this guy?
Medium
Is he-
humanoid.
Is he still medium?
Yes.
Okay.
Wah, wah, wah.
The way everyone was talking, I was thinking that he was like actually big.
He's a big guy, but he's still a
he's
guy.
not a large category guy.
Okay. Xavril is going to strafe around to the side of Copernicus. Hopefully to give this guy another target to attack.
So you're going to be flanking him or adjacent to Copernicus?
Adjacent.
So, yep, fighting side by side with Copernicus, only 10 feet back.
Man.
What do you think? What are you doing? 5
Because he
foot or
has
10
reach.
Yeah, because I have reach.
But you're
But
trying
you wanted
to take
to give him
hits,
another.
right?
Yeah, you wanted to take a hit.
Alright, and then I am going to use my superiority dice, and I'm actually going to try to knock it on the ground.
Yes.
Try to trip with my whips.
All right, let's see some
What?
rolls. Let's let the dice talk.
For my attack, I will miss horribly.
No.
Yep. Armor class 7.
Yeah, it just goes right off of his shield. Boom.
What else you got?
I have one more attack, which will be armor class 22.
There we go.
Ooh.
Okay, well, now we're talking. That is a hit.
Will it trip?
No. I tried doing it on the first attack. so-
Right.
All right, let's see some damage. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You have the hunter's mark on him, right?
Oh, no. Not Hunter's Mark, Slayer's Prey. So that will be 5 slashing and then 5 more slashing damage from the Slayer's Prey. So 10 total.
Where is Clem? In the woods?
Yeah.
She running?
She's running.
Bitch be running.
Yeah. Bitch be running.
Oh, wait a second. Alright, so I did that wrong. I actually could have used Trip. It says actually when I hit a creature with a weapon attack, I can expend the superiority dice. So
Gotcha.
I actually don't do it beforehand.
Okay, so you're doing it now with this second hit.
Yes.
All right, what's the next step here?
If the target is large or smaller, it must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, it gets knocked prone.
So what do I got to roll? Constitution saving throw?
Strength.
Strength save. Inbound.
I mean, DC's got to be 11.
Oh. Psst. Ready?
Roll one.
Wow. Missed by 1. I rolled a 2.
Nice.
All right, so he is tripped, right?
He is prone.
Oh, you missed, so he's on the ground. All right.
Xavril, like with that second whip attack, it gets it right around his ankle, and you just pull it, and Spartacus style slow motion. He's just up in the air, and then boom, falls on his back.
The total damage done would be 14.
Okay, next up is Irame.
Irame is going to probably move over 1 and then use the rest of her movement speed to move upward, just so she skirts that border there. Is Clem out of my reach at this point?
She is 70 feet.
Alright, so I'm going to attack her again.
Yep, and this is probably your last round. You're going to have visibility on her before she disappears into the dark jungle.
So, sensing that she's getting away, Irame is going to blast another chromatic orb in her direction.
Okay.
And that's going to be a 17.
17 is a hit.
Alright. And that is 17 damage.
17 damage.
Nice.
She dead?
Nope, and
No, she's-
roll a d20.
A 1.
Oh
my
Episode 23. Mark it in the fucking book.
where's that wild
For the first time in Natty 19 history.
Yeah.
I've been waiting
Is it?
for
I
this
know,
one.
yeah.
Is it the first time?
Yeah, every other time it's been like I had the rule wrong or it wasn't quite right.
Let me see if I have. I'm. God, it's been so long, but I thought I put it right in here. And roll 20.
Fucking
Let me
wild
see.
magic. I think it's page 101.
I was gonna say. I think- I was just gonna say that very same thing.
104.
All right.
Roll- Is it a D100?
It's a D100.
Want me to
Percentile
roll it?
die.
which always confuses me a bit. Yes, I do
tens?
want. I do think that you should roll it. I want to be surprised too, guys.
What'd you get?
Still
What'd you
learn
get?
Yeah,
What'd you
what it
get?
is.
surprise. Yeah.
So as Irame throws her chromatic orb out in its path and all around her, out of the ground comes these little phantom butterflies. And they start to flutter around. And as they're kind of fluttering around her, what appears to be flower petals begin to swirl around her as well.
All right, mild one.
So far.
So
So,
far.
Each one gives her +1 damage.
Irame is going to use her last 2 sorcery points to fire another bolt. Irame's swatting the fucking bullshit out of her face.
Get caught in your mouth.
Oh shit! I'm gonna roll again. I'm gonna use a lucky point.
What was
my
that?
feet.
You get all kinds of nice points.
I
you
do.
could-
I do. I get so the feat I chose was lucky, and I get 3 luck points, and I can re-roll a die before the DM tells me the outcome.
So you go to throw another orb at her? Is that what's happening?
Yep.
Yeah, so as you go to throw it, you feel something's not quite right. And then the air around you shifts slightly, and you go to throw it again.
15.
15 is a hit.
Yes.
3d8.
Oh, that's a 7. I thought it was a 1. 13, 16.
16 damage.
And my level 1 spells are spent.
16 damage.
is enough to... What?
You see it definitely hit, but you're so far away at this point. I mean, what's your dark vision at? That's another thing that I'm what's the range on your dark vision?
It's in dark vision is when it's dark I have dim, and in dim light I have bright. I don't know. It's the same as
like
my normal
period?
How many
vision.
feet?
Really? I thought it was feet wise. You get like
Yeah,
30,
normally-
60,
Oh.
120. You know what I mean?
For elf, it's probably 120. I'm a half, and I got 60.
I thought dark elves was 120 and elves was...
Yeah.
Oh, you're 60.
I don't know.
Wow.
Because I'm half.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
half elf,
I
not
think
a dark elf.
Yeah, so I think dark elves is... So you might actually have a disadvantage at this range.
So should I re-roll those last two?
No. She's a full elf, right?
Yep.
Right, but I don't think full elves have 120 is what
I
I'm
have
saying.
glasses.
I think they do.
I don't think so. I think dark elves do, and they live in the Underdark.
They might
It
have
makes
240.
sense. No, there is no fucking 240.
I just have written down that in dim light I see it as if we were in bright light, and in dark I see it as if it was in dim light.
Dark vision is 60 feet.
No, I thought so.
Yeah, so I wouldn't have.
You
All
would have
dark vision is 60 feet.
No, just elves.
Looks like all dark vision.
I bet dark elves is 120.
So what should we do?
Roll again to see if you actually...
The last two?
Roll this one.
16.
16 is
Even better.
a hit. But it could have
I got
been...
the same thing, but way better.
But it could have been worse.
Yes.
But you still can't really see. So you throw it out there.
Yeah, so I still
You
don't know what
what's going
condition
on.
she's
Right.
in, or if
Right,
I've hit
right.
her, or yeah.
That was
Shit,
my
is it
that was the
dark?
point
Is
I'm
that
trying
what
to
we're
make.
talking
Yeah, night was falling as we were progressing through the city to the pit.
Yep. So
It's
now
not, it's not even dim, huh? Like
There's-
no moon or anything?
no, there is dim moonlight, but Clem she's like right. She's like
in the
on
forest.
Yeah, right. She's like in the darkness of the jungle at this point.
Fucking
She's
Clem.
right on the edge. Do you see her up there?
Well, if I didn't kill her, she's gonna think twice before she fucking comes back.
So now we're at the top of round 3.
All right.
Those
I'm not
were
gonna
both
I ain't
lightning
giving out free
attacks, by the
handouts
way.
in the Natty 19 show. All right.
I understand.
We're doing shit
Those were both,
Hard.
for the record, lightning damage, because I didn't say it with the chromatic
Yeah, no,
orb,
no,
but I
that's
should.
fine. Yep. So you guys have made your play. Your ambush definitely shows an impact. The half-orc begins her retreat, leaving the hulking warrior to handle your group, and Irame just refuses to let up. She's slinging spells one after another, all the way to the tree line, where an agonizing grunt can be heard. Now, from this distance, it's difficult to say, but you know your spells were making contact. Let's see what happens next week on the Natty 19 podcast.